going on? What's going on, y'all? Top Flight TV, Mr. Top Flight Films. How's everybody feeling today, man? Y'all come on up in here, man. Let's chop it up for a second. Hope everybody's having a good day on this beautiful Sunday. Think about getting some crabs or something, man. We're gonna rap though. We'll see if I can get some people in the building. Uh, it's a couple things I want to talk about, but one in particular I want to talk about Drake's new song. What did I miss? And being a major hip hop fan, this has to be discussed. We have to we have to chime in because I understand it's a new day. 2025, we have left certain errors behind. I get it. I get it. I'm finally coming to the realization that things have changed and the rules have changed. Uh, and I need to preface this whole thing because it's really about what's acceptable, what's not acceptable. You dig? Um, Drake dropped a new song. It's called What Did I Miss? Now, as we all know, it's been a year since the infamous, the biggest battle of hip hop culture. It's been a year, dog. Um, Hands down, we all know Kendrick Lamar was victorious. He was extremely victorious. I'm talking 5 Grammy victories. And Drake got slaughtered. You dig? My man Villas, what's up, homie? Hit the like button. He said, how much can you bench press? I don't even know, brother, like 300, something like that, somewhere around there. I don't even be keeping up with it, bro. I'm just trying to stay fit, trying to stay young, you dig? But yeah, Drake got spanked, man. He got strength. He got spanked real bad. It was very upsetting, very embarrassing, and he's been trying to cope ever since. You dig? I'm from the U.S., man. What's going on? What country you in? Yeah. Shout out to everybody, man. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. I hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, man. So yeah, I'm gonna get to the comments in a minute. Do I got any Drake fans in the building? Do I have any Drake fans in the building? And I really don't want to talk about Kendrick because it really has nothing to do with him. Well, it does have something to do with him. But what I found is a lot of Drake fans like to deflect to Kendrick. But yeah, last year he got slaughtered. It was a bloodbath. Okay, everybody knows this. So he's been trying to cope ever since. Drake has been trying to cope. He's been trying to come with other records. Came with Nokia. He came with the album with Party Next Door, which I found to be a very, it's not for me. Let's just say that. I'm gonna be nice. That album is not for me. Nothing on that album was for me. So I respect that. I respect it. The women loved it. Some of the beta males loved it. But other than that, yeah, it is what it is. So I, as a hip hop fan, right? I'm like, okay, let's see. I'm I've never I didn't dislike Drake. I didn't dislike Drake. You dig? Brenda Freeman, what it do? I did not dislike Drake until this battle. Call my phone. I did not dislike Drake until this battle. I came into this battle thinking Drake was gonna be victorious. I thought Drake was gonna win, y'all. And throughout this battle, Drake has exposed how unworthy he is to be. We back. Somebody keep calling from the jail, dog. I don't know why they calling me from the jail. I don't have no money for you. All I had for you was a good word while you was on the street. I'm tired of sending money to the jail. You dig? But anyway, that's another video for another time. So I came into the battle thinking Drake was going to win, right? And because I never liked Kendrick, I was never a Kendrick Lamar fan, and this is just honesty. I used to DJ, and I never wanted to play Kendrick. He had maybe one or two songs that were actually playable in the club. But when the battle kicked off, I had an open mind and I had objectivity. And I think that's what's missing from today's, I don't want to say hip hop, but when we have these discussions in 2025, we are missing objectivity, okay? Where I can be totally honest without bias about my opinion. And once Drake got slaughtered throughout the battle, I was giving my opinion and I was telling people like, whoa, this didn't go the way I thought it was gonna go. And you know, we had to concede to the fact that Kendrick Lamar was the better MC. And then not only was he the better MC, he came with Not Like Us. And I don't care what nobody says. Look, everybody tries to downplay Not Like Us like it's a corny that song is the song is still crazy to this day. I still bump Not Like Us. Not only because of the beat and the vibe to it, right? But the lyrics, like the lyrics, I mean, he broke it down. He dissected dude to the T, right? Um, he won 5 Grammys for the song. He did the Super Bowl. Now he's on a world tour. No debate. He kicked Drake's ass. No debate. You still have people trying to say that. You still have people trying to say that Drake won, and I'm like, and again, I got to go back to my point that it's 2025, and when we have these debates and these discussions, it's different people. Everybody's not 44 like me from the same era that I'm from. So you got some real different, I'm gonna be nice, we got different takes. But people, there's some people, very few people that still think Drake won. See, first it was when the battle kicked off, they was like, Drake's not gonna respond, right? Then they was like, well, they can't do nothing to hurt Drake. And then once he got hurt in the worst way imaginable. I mean, let me ask y'all a question. What what could have happened to hurt Drake more? I mean, Drake was so hurt, he sued. He has a lawsuit. He's suing right now. He has UMG in court. And before you say he's not suing Kendrick, he is pretty much suing Kendrick. Let's just be real. He's suing the label, his label, which was a bad idea. But he's suing because of the song. He said that his son couldn't go to school because of the song. He's missing sleep and all kind of weak ass shit, right? So we got to keep that in perspective. That the man is suing. Okay. Now, again, I got to keep an open mind. In my era, once you sue, it would have been over for you. You cannot come back. Bye bye. You can't come back. I'm talking about once you sue because you lost a rap battle, your career would have been over. Do I have any 40 plus up in here? Somebody vouch for me, man. Do I have any 40 plus up in here? Somebody tell me that would have been acceptable behavior back in, let's say, 99, 98, shit, 2006. It would not have been acceptable behavior. So I'm gonna get to my point. I'm rolling. I'm slow walking this thing. So people made so many excuses about the whole battle. They justified every little action. They saying Kendrick Lamar got his clout off of Drake, or he's number one because of Drake. Okay, cool, whatever. Who cares? He's number one. It doesn't matter. If Drake was the dude that y'all say he was, he would have spanked Kendrick Lamar, and Kendrick Lamar would not be number one, right? Correct? Okay. Drake has been doing all kind of funny things in the midst of all this, right? And I've been anxious to see how Drake was going to come back. So he dropped the Nokia. He dropped the other song where they singing and whining and shit. You know, we turning up in Miami. Let me talk about that song real quick. We in Miami turning up another notch. That's the only good part of the song to me. Other than that, it's just a bunch of whining. It sounds like some wolves howling. Like all they doing is playing with the auto tune the whole song. This is just my opinion, okay? My girl loves it. Other people, all the chicks love it. They use it for their TikToks and their Instagram, whatever. Okay, I'm talking hip hop right now. So Drake just drops. He just drops a song called "What Did I Miss?" Okay, his rollout is the Iceman. He's the Iceman. All right, this dude is the Iceman now. All right. It seems to me that Drake is coming out with a more hardcore type of approach. He is he's coming out, on some war type of time. He did a little video, I guess it was a clip where he has like 50 guns in front of him. Where he got like 50 guns, like 50 cows, and the shit is corny as hell to me. And I'm gonna get to why. You understand? And in the song, what he's doing is he's dissing LeBron. He's pretty much, this is what Drake is doing in this song. In this song, Drake is pretty much going at everybody that was in the background whispering during that whole beef. Okay? He took a shot at Kendrick, let's make no mistake. He took a shot at Kendrick, which is a bad move. Why do you want to get this thing started, you little Canadian motherfucker? Why? Like, this dude, let me tell you, man, one reason why I don't like, again, I came in the battle a Drake fan. This battle made me not like Drake. From the, you rapping like you trying to free the slaves, to the suing, to the whining, the complaining, all the it made me not like dude. All right, I'm gonna just keep it real, man. It made me look at his older stuff like I don't want to hear this stuff. There's certain songs I still rock with, but I was totally turned off by his whole actions. So, what he's doing with this new song is, I'm gonna get to all the comments in a minute. What he's doing with this new song is he is talking about Rick Ross, Future, LeBron James, right? Talking about fake friends, right? But let me ask y'all this, man. Dude, this is the same guy that made a song called No Friends in the Industry, right? This dude told us in 2017, was it? 2017, he told us that he doesn't have friends in the industry. So why are you crying and whining about friends in the industry? At what point do you stop crying about, at what point do you stop crying about fake friends? Let me tell you something. I'm 44 years old, right? And at 30, before 30 years old, I knew that I had no fucking friends. And when I say that, I mean, I don't be rolling with people. I don't hang out with people like that. You dig? Like, I've learned enough through my lifetime that friendship is best done in moderation. So at 40 years old, and which Drake is 40 years old, why are you still whining and crying and making songs about fake friends? You dig? Yeah. So the song is getting good reviews. It's getting mixed reviews. A lot of people are like, "Yeah, Drake, this is a great song." The song is not bad. It's not a bad song. He knows how to make good music. Let's just be real. He has people that writes for him most of the time. He'll find a writer. Nokia was written by someone else. This is what I mean. I'm from a different era, dog. A lot of this stuff would not be acceptable. You could not be called the GOAT if you have writers. I'm talking about word for word. We've heard reference tracks for all kind of songs that Drake's made. Some of his biggest songs, we've heard the reference track with the writer rapping the song. Okay? So this is what I'm saying. We gotta have this conversation as a hip hop fan, as a hip hop enthusiast. We have to talk about this to the like-minded individuals because I understand there's a lot of people out there who are not like-minded. Some people were born in the 2000s, and shout out to y'all. You dig? But we're different, okay? And certain things are not acceptable. Now, Drake is in the process of a lawsuit. Why are you out there with 50 guns like you're gonna do something, sir? Why are you out there with 50 guns like you're gonna shoot somebody? Why are you talking tough like you're the tough guy, when you are in the courtroom and you are complaining that you can't sleep at night and your son can't go to school because of a song that you provoked. You understand? Um, Jet said, "Why are you outside and not at work?" I'm at work right now, sir. Okay, I'm at work right now. I just cut my grass today, right? Uh, got my grass looking great. You dig? I'm working. I'm at work, homie. Yeah, Texas Bama, what it do? He said Texas Bama said he's still big mad. I'm gonna get to the comments, man. Y'all leave a comment. Tell me what y'all think. Are you feeling? Look. Give me a different perspective. All right. I have my old man perspective. I have an old man perspective. Fuck it. It is what it is. But it's true school. Okay. See, anything goes in 2025. I'm talking about. This is the era where somebody such as Gunner, okay, shout out to dude, whatever. Gunner can go in the courtroom and tell the judge that YSL must be stopped. And he can tell the law that YSL is a gang and that the gang must be stopped. And he can come home and be one of the biggest rappers in the game. So we got to put everything in perspective. We're in a new time and a new day. You dig? Let me get to these comments. Y'all hold fast. I'm gonna get to all these comments, or as many as I can. Vend says Drake getting weaker and weaker the more he try to act strong. Yeah. Shout out to Boston, Massachusetts. T-Mac said, how can they say big mad when you're just chatting? You're chatting. He said chatting. Are you from Canada, sir? Let me tell you about Canada, you know, and I think that's why Drake is acting out like this, because we don't act out like this in America. If we take a loss, for the most part, we'll shake a hand and say, man, you got me. We're not going to go to court and sue. So you must be from Canada, T-Mac. Reese Craven said there's working and then there's doing chores. I don't have to go to work for anybody, man. I got my own business, so I get to do what I want to do. Ant said, crazy to think everyone's still talking about Drake having ghostwriters, but Gilly wrote half of Lil Wayne's career and nobody talks about that. Well, that's not true, Ant. I'm not a Lil Wayne fan. If you go look at my videos, I'll be really getting in Wayne's ass. Like, I give Wayne a hard time. I've been very critical of Wayne. But Gilly didn't write, I don't think Gilly wrote any of his songs. What Gilly was saying, because I remember that era, I lived through that era. Gilly was saying, and what we all know is Wayne got some of his vernacular from Gilly. You understand? Wayne got some of his rhyme style from Gilly. Gilly really didn't write no songs, and that's been debunked. Craig says, bro, definitely, usually Brazo on the door. I don't know what that means. Jet says, Jay stole lyrics and isn't even top 5 East Coast. Jay who? Jay-Z? Talking about Jay-Z? Portrait says, Diddy innocent. Of course Diddy's innocent. Light of the Cross says, I'm outside your house. Philip G said, what's up from Long Beach? Shout out to Felipe. Struck said, Drake is a lame, no way around it. Hey man, listen. Y'all see, the people gonna call me a hater. I will be called a hater, but I'm gonna just keep it real. I'm gonna give you my honest assessment. Again, I gotta keep saying it. I was a big Drake fan. I had no problem with Drake, but Drake is the biggest lame in hip hop, hands down. Not 6ix9ine is not 6ix9ine is a rat. He's not even as lame as Drake. Drake is the lamest guy in hip hop. That's a fact, man. Light of the Cross said, oh, Joe Lewis says 10 push-ups right now. Now, you want to see a man do push-ups, bro? Come on, man. The Real Waffle House Jackson says Drake is whack, been that way from the jump. Let me say this, hey, Waffle House. Drake has been on thin ice from day one. Let's be real. He's been on thin ice. We gave Drake a pass. Like, he's had a touch of corny with him from day one. But we said, you know what? This is a breath of fresh air from all the killing and tough talk and tough rap. The boy can sing. The boy can rap. He makes great music. We gonna put all that other stuff to the side. That's what we said. And we gave him a pass for many, many years. But now After this battle, after some of the albums that he put out before the battle, this tough shit with 21 Savage, it's like, man, he overstepped his boundaries, dog. You dig? TM Max says, Cali boy. The chat said you was big mad. Um, Helio says, where are you? I'm around, brother. I'm in the mountains. I'm in the beautiful mountains. Black Joker says, snitching ain't never been cool to our era. If you clapping it, you shouldn't be living it. Yeah, I absolutely agree, homie. Love you from India. Shout out to Untold List. The real Waffle House says wrong. Jay-Z is a punk, says Michael. Justice Brown says, we supposed to be jumping off the porch, not sitting on it. Fast-paced cheese, what it do? Honest Music, South Africa. Shout out to South Africa. Joe Lewis said, don't try to get around this work. 10 for the hour. I don't know what you're talking about. Poe Trait says, the new age rap fans listen to nothing but Drake. I hope he bounced back or else his fan base will burn his whole shit down. Let me say this, dog. Did y'all see what T-Pain just recently said? And of course, Drake, like, got offended and commented and acted like T-Pain said something wrong. T-Pain basically said, man, look, you know, he heard Drake say one time that you should gracefully bow out instead of being asked to leave. And that is the art of, it's called the art of gracefully bowing out. It's the art of the exit. You understand? Like, you got to know when you're wearing your welcome out. Sometimes you got to say, you know what? I did this. I came, I conquered. Let me sit back. Let me say this, man. There was a debate online with whether T-Pain was hating or what. But no, T-Pain is absolutely correct. There's a time and a place, man, to keep going. And Drake is wearing his welcome out. You dig? And let's be real, new age fans, they don't really care about Drake. It's really like the 30-year-olds, 30 to 35, 30 to 38-year-olds, they the ones that's big Drake fans. The youngins, they don't care about Drake like that. You dig? Texas Bama said, good music is good music. Absolutely. Absolutely. Michael Houlay says, Drake was an actor on Degeneracy High. Yeah, we let that slide. See, look, Drake gets a pass. Let me tell you something, man. This nigga got like light skin privilege or something. Because we've given him so many passes. Nigga, you are an actor, which is cool. I love people that are successful. But you are an actor. Why are you sitting in this video with all kind of artillery? Okay, you were already pushing it when you were rapping about making somebody around you catch a body like that, and like, cuz, like calm down, homie. Like, we not really respecting that. We like your music. We don't want to see you be the tough guy. You dig? Chris, OnlyFans, what up? Damn, I'm late on these comments. Let me catch up with these comments real quick. Struck says he's suing UMG for boosting Welcome Kendrick music. They did it for him too, with the Meek Mill. Yeah, and this is why he's not respected. This is why let's just say UMG did boost Not Like Us. Drake benefited from the same system, the same machine. He benefited from the same machine. Drake, I was a DJ when Back to Back came out. And we spun back to back, back to back. That was a big diss record, but it wasn't as big as Not Like Us. You dig? It doesn't matter who he's suing. I don't care who you're suing. You can't sue because you lost a rap battle. If Drake would have won the rap battle, would he still sue? I don't believe so. I don't believe he would have. To be fair, when somebody says something about you, like you're a PDF, you really have no choice, kinda, but I'ma just be fair. A smart thing to do would be to sue. You understand? Because in future reference, if you let that lie go unaddressed, it'll look like it's the truth. But the thing about, listen, I want y'all to listen, man. And I don't know why the lawyers aren't talking about this in court. I believe if it goes further, the lawyers will break this down. In order to defame someone, you have to say something that you don't believe is true yourself. Now, Kendrick says, say Drake, I heard you like him young. He said, I heard you like him young. Now, a lot of us already, we heard that Drake likes him young. All Kendrick did was say he heard. He didn't say he knows he likes him young. He said, I heard. He said, I heard. Because right before the battle, there was all kind of whispers of Drake being in certain young ladies' DMs and things of that nature. And so all he did was repeat what he heard. So that could be a defense for Kendrick. But I don't want to get too caught up on the lawsuit, because he's suing, and that's some whole shit. You dig? Portrayal says it's not a lie though. There's evidence all over the internet. Yeah, that's what I'm saying to you. That's what I'm saying to you. Kendrick is not the first person to talk about Drake liking young girls. He's not the first to say that. You dig? Joseph Panita, what's up, man? Mozzie says, show me. Show you what? It's plenty of, go look it up, homie. It's plenty of, it was something with Billie Eilish. There was something with, what's the one girl's name? I think she plays an instrument or something. I forgot what the other girl's name was. But there was all kind of different rumblings. Do I believe it? Not really. I don't really believe it. I don't believe, because we see Drake's baby mother. His baby mother's a porn star. And our good brother, Pusha T, another classic diss track, The Story of Adidon, or however you say it, he pointed that out. You dig? Peep Jesus says, and Drake my favorite rapper. That's what's up. The Black Joker said, but he's taking pics with 15-year-olds, and he got the show he co-wrote called Euphoria with teenagers having adult experiences. Thank you for that information, sir. I did hear something about that. I forgot all about that. That's where the song Euphoria comes from. Phantom Heem says, most people don't even actually listen to the lyrics and what they mean. I wouldn't be surprised if most of you have missed all the hidden stuff in songs. Mozzie says, Drake the truth. Kendrick can't mess with Drake. Y'all made that song hot. Mozzie. I'm trying. We gotta wake you up, homie. What do you mean he can't fuck with Drake? He fucked over Drake. What do you mean he can't fuck with Drake? He demolished Drake. So bad that Drake is suing. So bad that a year and a half later, Drake is making songs about how hurt he is and betrayal. And come on, dog. Y'all gotta stop being delusional. Y'all gotta stop being delusional. Troy Hill said he kissed a teenager at one of the concerts. That's what we saw. We saw it on video. You dig? We saw it on video. Ruben Stewart says, what up, bruh? Just tuned in. What we talking about? We talking about Drake's new song, What Did I Miss? What are your thoughts? Hey, shout out to Scorpio Martin. Shout out to you, homie. Belly Bell said, Kendrick's trash, bro. Let me tell you something, man. When we have these discussions, because this is nothing more than a discussion. I'm a hip-hop enthusiast. I love hip-hop, all eras of hip-hop. But we're having a discussion, so when somebody says somebody's trash, it's subjective. You dig? You can't say Kendrick is trash. You can say he's not for you. It was a point in time Kendrick wasn't for me. I love the GNX album. Have I played any of his other albums? No. His other albums aren't for me. But are they trash? No. They are critically acclaimed. They are platinum and gold. Like, you can't, That's not trash. So we gotta have honest discussions, man. You dig? Miss Patterson says he still has a strong fan base and will do well. The tough guy image is what turned everybody off. Yeah, Miss Patterson, that's why I'm here. Because his new shit is the tough guy stuff that we've never seen from him. We've never seen him in a video with 50 guns. He just dropped a song where he has visuals where it's 50, he's rapping in front of 50 different guns. You dig? And that's what we're here with. This is what we talking about today. I thought Drake was gonna go the other route. Cause he told us he wants to get back to partying. Forget beefing, he wants to party. But then he comes and drops this. Mr. No Friends in the Industry is whining about friends betraying him that are in the industry. Real weird shit. Michigan Ant says that does this prove that Drake is an industry plant? Shit, I'm not. I would believe Drake was an industry plant of some sort, depending on how you define industry plant. Scorpio Martin says, shout out for the super chat, homie. Scorpio says Kendrick Lamar is a better rapper than Drake. No, I agree. I agree with that 100%. If you listen to Euphoria, that's another great diss track. And I'm talking about lyrical, I'm talking about flow, I'm talking about subject matter, I'm talking about he broke him down, dog. Like he got all the way to the bottom of who Drake really is. Shenandoah says all rap sucks. Evelyn Williams, y'all hit the like button for me, man. Evelyn Williams says he missed that Kendrick had whooped his ass bad. Yeah, real bad. Tazio says, I love Run DMC and Beastie Boys. Jesse says, Drake is better than Triple X, Lil Peep, and Juice WRLD combined. Isaac Flores, shout out to you. He says, Kendrick ain't got no hits. See, this is look, we want to have real conversations, man. And you can't really come up here lying, dog. Like he has hits. He has plenty of hits. He just got 5 Grammys, dog. What do you mean he don't have hits? Mozzie said, you can't play Kendrick's whole album, but you can play Drake's. You mean you. You mean you, sir. You gotta say you. Say I can't play Kendrick's whole album, but I can play Drake's. What do you mean you? Why are you speaking for other people? Juice Jones says, you a top flight glazer. All right, Juice, don't be mad, sir. Don't be mad, because your little Canadian rapper is out here looking crazy. I didn't make him do that. I didn't make him go and act like a tough guy with all these guns in the video. I didn't make him do that. Colton Decker says plants aren't what you think. It's really just people with money seeing someone with a little pool and then going all in. They aren't actually picked and then planted. I don't know about that. I think Lil Nas X was definitely a plant. Comment Fool says Kendrick is real. I agree. Let me tell you, man, that's another reason why he won. Let me tell you why Drake lost. Because when it comes down to the come down, right? People gonna go with what's more authentic. We know Drake's tactics. Drake, we just saw Drake at a country concert. And shout out to the country singers and all that. I'm not saying you shouldn't have a diverse taste in music, but we just saw Drake cosplaying a country artist. He was with the country artist. He had his country gear on, and like, who are you, cuz? We seen you go to the Bay and dress like Mac Dre and somebody that's in the Bay Area. We saw you go to LA and try to be amongst that culture. We saw you go to Memphis, and when you saw a hot artist, what's the boy named Black Boy JB? We saw you doing the Memphis thing. We saw you go to Atlanta and do the Atlanta thing. The Miami, we can go on and on for days, dog. The Jamaican, the European drill. We have, come on, man, like, We know his tactics at this point. We know how he gets down. You dig? He is a leech. He's a parasite. You understand? And I'm not mad at that because that's how you stay number one. And him and his team understand that formula. So I'm not 100% mad at that, but just know that we know. Just know that we see it. Even Kendrick pointed it out. You dig? And at the end of the day, when we see shit like that in real life, we don't really respect it. You dig? Outside with G said Key Glock is on the way. Shout out to Key Glock, man. Shout out to PRE. Check out my interview with I just did an interview, well, not just, I did an interview with Moochie Great, about 6 months ago. It's on my page. Julian Leon, Drake realized a loss and exposed his Jewish roots and sued Kendrick. Yeah, see, this is, let me tell you, man, that's a great point because this is what happens when people outside of the culture. If you're not really of the culture, if you're not really from this cloth, right? If you're not really out that mob, if you're not really from the culture, what happens is we see it all the time, right? You ever ran into somebody that was playing gangster in the street? They was running around the street. They was acting like they was street, right? And then when shit got hot, they call the police or they snitch on somebody. That's what that is. That's what he did. He acted like he was ready for war. He told him to drop. Told him to do his push-ups. And then when he got spanked, he went and ran to the law. This is what it is, man. I'm sorry to tell y'all, man, but this is just what it is. You dig? ASDF says, I think Drake may be like to date younger women, but haven't seen evidence. It's understandable that Drake would be offended by the accusation. Yeah, I agree. Anybody would be offended. But let me tell you, but once you decide to enter battle, and once you talk about a man's family, you talk about a man's wife, you talk about their kids, you saying that Dave Free could potentially be the father of his kids, Kendrick's kids, there are no more rules. You understand that? You can't go sue after that. You cannot go sue after that. You understand? Dave C says, okay, so whose culture is it? What culture are you referring to? Whose culture is hip hop culture? Is that what you're asking? Aiden, what's up, man? Shout out to you. The Black Joker said he did the same with Pusha. He did the same shit with Pusha T, dog. And this is why it's very frustrating, right? Because Drake he act like he wanted that smoke with Pusha. Pusha came through and gave him that work. And what did Drake do? Drake ran to Jay Prince. He hid behind Jay Prince, right? He talked about Pusha's wife, right? This dude does not know how to read the room. You can tell he's a goofy, for real, from Canada that really doesn't know the rules and parameters. You dig? Because you should know, once you talk about somebody's wife, you have to prepare for whatever comes next. VS Icon says, isn't it against gangster rules for regular civilians to be crip walking, etc.? Even white people crip walking on TikTok. At this point, brother, I don't think so. At this point, the crip walk is mainstream. I mean, we saw Serena do it at the Super Bowl. At this point, the crip walk is mainstream. David C says, yeah, I'm asking whose coach are you talking about? So I guess, yeah, who's coach? I don't know. Paul Rick, y'all hit the like button, man. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Make sure y'all go to Instagram and follow TopFlight_TV. Incognito says, music, all forms of music and entertainment is black culture. Let us go back 1,000 years. No, that's a fact, homie. I didn't want to open that can of worms because, you know, it's going to piss a lot of people off. But we are the culture of America, man. And I want y'all to ask yourself, if foundational black Americans, if we didn't bring If we didn't put our music to the forefront, what music would we be listening to right now in America? We would be listening to classical, uh, and a lot of like piano type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like that's we brought the music culture over here from country to rock and roll to jazz to blues and of course hip hop. Damn, I'm late on these joints. FL Demand, FL Man Dan says, "Are you talking about them blooms and clicks, and then people write a poem over?" Ken said, "I'm so tired of hearing about race." James says, "Trump, Trump, Trump." Uh, FL Man Dan says, "That's not music. Most of it sampling real music." Yeah, sampling music that foundational Black Americans influenced. I'm sorry, brother. The truth is the truth, man. Panda Hat says, "Is Drake still trying to start stuff again? He should just let it go by now." And those are my exact sentiments, man. Um, if Drake is not careful, he's gonna start up a whole nother situation. Cause he pretty much called Kendrick a vagina. He pretty much called Kendrick a vagina in his new song. And I want to be done with this. I wanted to be done with this discussion. It shouldn't be an ongoing thing. You dig? Drake is so privileged that some people don't want to give him the L. He doesn't want to take the L. Be a man, dog. Shake hands. If you get in a rumble, man, somebody whoop you. You should have respect for that man. Just shake his hand. Say, you know what? All right, you got that. Let's move on. I would have respected Drake. I would not be doing this video. I would be a regular Drake fan, as I was, if he'd have just came out and said, "Kendrick, you know, you won, brother. Good game." And they kept it pushing. You dig? Somebody says, "I have a question." Adrian Gut says, "Is there a scar from a bullet or some other sharp tool on your right shoulder?" Uh, Colton Decker says, "Drake lost when he started cosplaying Thugnificent." Yeah. Oh yeah, we can't forget Houston. He came out cosplaying a Houston cat. You dig? That's what it. You know, what's my man name? I then came down, pulled up. What's my man name? Shit. Who sang the song? The young boy, young Houston boy. Stole his whole style. He stole his whole style. Lawrence says, "Is anyone asking your opinion on this?" No, Lawrence, I'm just giving my opinion. This is what we do on my channel. I like to come and give my opinion on things. You dig? Brandon Ovia says, "Drake is the GOAT." He's your GOAT? That's what's up. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that, homie. Hens says, "My N-word. You know Keisha and Youngboy?" Who is Keisha and Youngboy? Alejandro Torres says, "Drake is the GOAT." He's your GOAT. He's your GOAT, dog. I have my GOAT. Andre Carter has his GOAT. Marcus G has his GOAT. Everybody has their GOAT. You dig? But technically, Drake is not eligible to be a GOAT in hip hop. You understand that? How old are you, my man? I'm just asking you. All opinions are welcome on this channel. But technically, you cannot be a GOAT in hip hop if most of your biggest songs are written by somebody else. You can't be a GOAT in hip hop if you sued, if you took legal action. If you took legal action after a battle rap, you cannot be a GOAT in hip hop. You can be a GOAT pop star. You did. I think Drake should just stay under the category of pop. You know what I'm saying? Marcus G says, "It's definitely foundational Black American. We are not generic continental Africans." You goddamn right. Shout out to my FBA family. Shout out to my foundational Black American family. Shout out to everybody. but in particular, my foundational Black American family, we are under a lot of scrutiny, and the fact that we are still pushing, and the fact that we are delineating and putting our best foot forward, I'm very proud of, and I'm very happy to see other foundational Black Americans and freedmen identify as that. So, big shout out to y'all, man. Um, Damn. Johnny Detail says Flint Town, top authority in Daytona family. Big shout out to Daytona family. That's Ohio, right? Dayton family. Uh, Flint Town. You talking about Ohio? Uh, some of these names I can't pronounce. Antonio Turner says all them people who diss Drake got hits because of Drake. That's partially true. That's partially true. And let's talk about that for a minute. Let's talk about Drake supposedly being this God MC, right? This God artist that just blessed everybody. If it wasn't for Drake, there would be no Future. There would be, hey, come on, man. Listen, Drake did some good things in the industry, but let's not act like he didn't benefit. Okay, him aligning himself with the Futures, the Block Boy JBs, the Rick Rosses, the Games, him aligning himself with these people only gave him longevity. So let's not act like he was the fairy godfather of rap that was just being charitable and helping these poor, helpless Negroes. That's not the case, man. We can't let that narrative live. Muhammad said, you're talking ish. He didn't sue Lamar. He sued the machine and supported the vile accusation to ruin his brand. Blah, blah, blah. Same shit. Okay, look, it doesn't matter who he sued. I don't care who he sued. It doesn't matter, fam. And again, I don't know how old you are, but it doesn't matter who he sued. It's all about the optics. If you lose a rap battle, you cannot sue, especially after you slandered his wife. What don't y'all get about that? Drake slandered Kendrick's wife and kids first and foremost, before anybody talked about a PDF. Drake also invited Kendrick Lamar to talk about him liking young girls. What song was it? Was it Tailor Made where he said, yeah, talk about me liking young girls? This is what Drake said. Go listen to the diss records, man. Y'all really gotta be honest about this shit. Black Joker said Drake is the hip hop Karen. Officially, officially. Drake is officially the hip hop Karen. No way around it, dog. No way around it. GJW says you look like you like young girls. Listen here, man. I like mature women. 23 and up is cool with me. You dig? 23 and up is cool with me, but I'm in a relationship. My girl's 33 years old. So don't project your fantasies onto me, sir. You dig? Don't do that, man. Let's have an honest conversation, intellectual conversation. Sonic Boom, what it do, homie? Boom said pause. Zion Dipper says, how old are you? I'm 44 years old, man. Colton Decker said, I like pretty girls. Will Smith. Oh man, don't do that. I saw them joking Will Smith on his new song, man. Leave Will alone, dog. Will can do what he want to do, man. That man is having fun. Let Will have fun. You dig? Let me see, man. I'm 44. I'm 44, been that pity, yeah. Julia says, shout out to you. Panda Hat says, case in point, look what happened to Ja Rule after he talks about Haley, and he still hasn't fully recovered from his beef with 50 Cent and Eminem. Well, let me say this, man. Let's talk about the Ja Rule real quick. Ja Rule and 50. Let's make no mistake. 50 Cent, 50 Cent slaughtered that man. But what you got to take in consideration is Murder Inc. They were defunct around that time. They got hit with fair charges. They got hit with federal charges. They had to stop producing. They had to stop producing. They could have, let me tell you, if they didn't get hit with them fair charges, that Ja Rule would have kept going. Like, Ja was making great music. But yeah, 50, Eminem had no parts of Ja Rule's decline at all. Nobody took that shit serious. You dig? Orbit 99 said, this the first dude on YouTube Shorts live that I think might have a solid mental state, unlike every other person streaming. Shout out to you, Orbit. Trey, I appreciate that. Trey Young said, free Dirk. Man, Dirk is Dirk, to be honest with you, bro, Dirk probably never see the light of day again, man. You dig? And to be honest, I hate to see a young brother. I did a couple videos on Dirk. I hate to see a young brother throw his life away, but Dirk and King Von, they were responsible for so much degeneracy within our culture. Dirk is right where he belongs, Holmes. Him and Von. You dig? And I hate, look, you might not like that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not against anybody in the street. But when you make it out the street, like Dirk, and you choose to still promote violence in your community and amongst other communities, I can't respect that. So Dirk is where he needs to be. Now he can live up to his name. He can be the big super gangster that he wanted to be. You dig? When they put his ass underground in ADX, because that's where he's going. He's going to ADX. That's where they're going to send him. He can live out his fantasies of being the biggest GD, BD. I don't know what these niggas are. You dig? But King Von, he got what he had coming to him, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, trust me, I shoot videos for these youngins. This is my profession. Somebody told me to go to work. What I do for work is I shoot videos. And I'm around these little youngins, and I see the influence that the Vons and the Chief Keefs and all these little rappers, they are, and look, I'm not blaming them 100%, but they are responsible. They are influencing all these young kids, man, to act, dress, behave a certain way. We all know it's coming from a higher source. We know the record industry, people who are not of the culture, is pushing this agenda. But at the same time, these niggas got a choice, man. You dig? Prophet Joshua said, Dirk is letting you know what not to do. No, he's not. No, he's not. Maybe in a couple songs, but most of his popular songs and his overall message was sliding, killing, and drilling. You dig? This is just what it was. This is be honest. The Black Joker said, not Chief Keef. Trey Young said, I don't want Dirk to be locked up. To be honest, I don't want Dirk to be locked up neither, but that's where he's at. He tried to change at the last hour. Dirk tried to change at the last hour. He already knew they was coming to get him. Listen, he tried to change when he knew them feds was about to come pick him up. He knew his time was ticking. He tried to put out a little good behavior or something to refer to when he goes to that sentencing. You know, that All My Life with J. Cole, my kids love that song. I love that song. I was happy he did that song. I was like, damn, Dirk, yeah, that's what's up. This is what needs to happen. But after how many bodies done dropped? After how many kids are influenced? You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's a sacrifice. Dirk put Dirk away so 100,000 other kids out here can learn from Dirk. You know what I'm saying? Oscar Guzman says, stop woofing. Joseph Gross says, they sold their souls to the devil. Look at Travis Scott, demonic sacrificial concert. Christian McCarthy, the cowboy. What's up, homie? Y'all hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. please. Jeremy said, yes, Panda, the most secure prison in the world. Zaylin Dipper says, I think that's one of the things tanking hip hop right now. Overly done gangster personas and not rappers. Let me tell you, that shit is about to come to an end. And when I say come to an end, I don't mean, let me tell you something. Gangster rap, drill, gangster music is always gonna be in high demand. We love it. I love it. I listen to gangster shit all the time. But I also listen to R&B. I listen to very little rock and roll. I listen to a lot of top 40 pop, like pop music. When I'm at my house cooking and barbecuing sometimes, I turn on the top 40 station. But gangster rap is never going anywhere. Let me tell you why. The more they make it underground, the more in demand it's going to be because it's going to become forbidden fruit, just like it was in the beginning. In the beginning, that shit was forbidden fruit. Back in my day, you know what a big deal was? If a tape had a parental advisory sticker on it. That was a huge deal. Like, we wanted that. We doesn't have the parent. They had an explicit version. They had a clean version. We wanted the one with the cussing on it. Okay. So gangster rap is going to be, it's never going nowhere. But I do feel like the labels are going to start cleaning up because it's costing them money to fight these RICOs. It's costing them money to get lawyers and things of that nature. So I do believe they're going to scale back on that. But the music itself will always be in demand. Rebellious rap, rap where you can just let it all loose and it makes you feel a certain way. It's rebellion. Rebellion, it's like rock and roll, man. You know what I'm saying? But this shit is different. This hip hop shit is different. This hip hop, man, the CIA used hip hop to start revolutions. Y'all know that? The CIA, and I don't want to get too deep on it because I don't have all the information, but if I'm talking about countries overseas, you got rap artists that are pushing revolutionary messages. You understand? To get messages out there. That's how influential hip hop is. Everywhere we go, hip hop is around. You go into a Target, their jingle is hip hopish. You go to a store, it's a local ice cream shop around my way called the Creamery, the whitest ice cream shop that you won't find. But their sign says it was all a dream from Biggie Smalls. So hip hop is the most influential music genre ever. You dig? Shout out to Scorpio Martin, man. I appreciate the super chat. Says cover the camera for Lamar Jackson edit. I don't know what that means, homie. Miss Patterson says sex, money, and drugs influences a generation with no role models. Yeah. Even some with role models, like this, it's so powerful, right? That even people with role models will look to the gangster type dude instead of the positive dude. You know what I'm saying? Patrice says Tupac was real spoken from the soul, telling truth. This is what they did not like about Pac. They didn't like a lot about Pac because Pac had his rebellious side. He had his content. He was a very hypocritical type of cat if you don't look at the bigger picture. But Tupac, man, had so many layers to him. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I understand about Pac. I understand that, just like us all, we all have our days where we feeling like this. One day I might be feeling, I might be feeling a little gangster, man. One day I might be feeling a little peaceful, or I might be feeling a little revolutionary. That's just human beings. He was the embodiment of a human. You understand? Chris Lewis says, within the structure of the game, why did nobody pull Dirk's coattail and tell him to fall back and go move accordingly so he can remain free? That's a great question, but if I had to guess and answer that question, you can't tell somebody like Dirk or King Von to fall back. They not trying to head, dog. I'm sure people have told him, His father was locked up. He came home. I guarantee you his father told him, you need to calm down. And for real, I think Dirk was like, he was like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. He was living good. He's a multi-millionaire, but he had street dudes around him. So he wasn't really in Chicago drilling and killing. He was at his mansion, rich, feeling above the law, and he felt like he can do some Chicago shit. He felt like he was a super driller. You know what I'm saying? And then he got caught up. Wolfgang says, Doom, Professor Aesop Rock, dog walking these fools. You're a kid when NWA was doing their thing. You probably don't even remember Ice-T being a cop killer. Yeah, I remember Cop Killer, dog. That was very controversial. Super controversial. I remember that. Frank Lucas says, Tupac in the bathtub with gold, DMX bathtub covered in gold, goat's blood. Yeah, Pac influenced all this shit. Everything you see today, man, is remnants of Tupac. The rock star, rocking Versace, rocking these elaborate pieces, driving Bentleys, things of that nature, man. That was Tupac. The tattoos, like all that shit, a lot of stuff you see today comes from Tupac. You dig? Felice says, and he was being watched the whole time. Yeah. Trey Young says, Dirk music has helped me through a lot in life. No, that's good, brother. Everybody's not gonna get the same reaction. Everybody's not gonna see a little Dirk and get inspired the same way. Majority of the kids, they see Lil Durk and they want to be like Dirk. They want to be like the Dirk that he raps about. You know what I'm saying? The guy that can get you, unalived. You know what I'm saying? If need be. You know what I'm saying? That type of, yeah. Y'all funny as hell in here. MC 1995 says, some of the rappers that start with the gangster rap change their style when they start to make money and start to realize that this don't influence the world and them in a good way. AC49 says Tupac is the OG. Yes, he is. Miss Patterson says NWA rapped about what was going on in their communities and how they felt about it. Yeah, I agree, but I also think that that excuse, it worked for back then. People try to still use that excuse, like, we just rapping about what we see, like Dirk, for instance. We just rapping about my neighborhood or what we man. At some point, we gotta be responsible. Say, you know what? Okay, everybody knows what it is. All right, we already know what occurs. We already know, what takes place in these environments. Now, what's next? Let's move on. Frank Lucas says 4Extra blew his hand off. Man, I saw that, bro. That's unfortunate. If y'all don't know, it's a gang member, rapper, podcaster named 4Extra. He's on a No Jumper show. This guy blew his hand off with a firecracker, and it looked nasty as hell. I saw he put up a GoFundMe. John got like $600. It's unfortunate. The irony of that, 4Extra always talking about fighting. He was always talking about using his hands. That's very ironic, dog. Like, think about that in a spiritual aspect. You're known, your claim to fame is fighting, and now you blow one of your hands off. Wicked, wicked. T Empire Rule says Two Live Crew. Yeah, Two Live Crew. Yeah, Two Live Crew. I remember Two Live Crew. That infamous album. As a kid, that Two Live Crew album cover. Yeah. Oh yeah. We never seen cakes like that. We wasn't really seeing cakes like that, dog. That was Miami shit right there. They had the girls with the bikinis on that junk. Gideon Wood said, I think gangster rap should be banned. It's causing too much harm and damage to our community. I don't think it should be banned. I think that it should be limited. You dig? It's being over promoted by the powers that be. Think about the sexy reds. Think about the image. Think about the image they try to portray us in. They try to portray black people in the worst image. Black destruction is $1 billion industry. You dig? Think about that. Sexy red. What was I listening to earlier? Oh, I was cutting the grass and I heard I was they had Destiny's Child in the background. And the chick was like, they were singing, they were like, the shoes on my feet, I bought it. Talk about being independent. Y'all remember it was a point in time where the cool shit was to be independent? Now, in 2020, 25, you cannot court a female without buying them something. You have to pay a toll. You have to pay a toll to get a female nowadays. Nunya says Mob Deep Getaway. That was a very graphic song. That was like, let me tell you, man, Prodigy, rest in peace. And I was able to meet Prodigy. But Prodigy, that song Getaway, that was like a drill song. That was like a drill song before drill. Mob Deep absolutely raised the bar on violent rap. He even said it. Prodigy even said it. Me and my nigga pioneered this violent nigga rap shit. Bust your gat, kid. Me no fear that. I'm laughing. What's up then? Let's take it there and touch something. I'm a maniac, brainiac, fanatic for that. Capable of combat, peak counter attack. And some Hot Wheels sending shots out from the back. Bruh, them boys, Bob Deep definitely was like drillers before drill was even popular. Frank Lucas said it's even wild OGs from the 80s and 90s film and telling themselves doing criminal acts. Yeah. That's a big thing. Everybody wants internet clout. Everybody wants some internet fame, man. Ken Mathis says, how do you feel about the Aaliyah situation? I don't really feel, I feel it's unfortunate. Aaliyah, man, let me tell you something, man. She was special, Holmes. Like, even to this day, she's very special. I just bought some socks last year at the beach. I haven't worn them yet, but it was like socks with Aaliyah airbrushed on them. And she was just a beautiful spirit, man. You dig? I didn't know her personally, but the music she put out, her image, just looking at it, she was just a beautiful spirit. Far from what we see today. far from what we see today. Casper said, hell nah, Mobb Deep made real rap, not drill rap. Of course, but what I'm saying is, if you listen to Get Away, that was so graphic and explicit. That was my Prodigy, man, he was so specific. It was a violent song, you dig? We didn't hear nothing like that at that point, man. C Mac, what it do, big dog? Said, I'm glad social media wasn't around when we were young. Man, I'm so glad social media wasn't around. Thank God it wasn't around. My God. My God. Kevin LaCav says, do you want fame? No, I don't care about fame, my brother. I don't care about fame. If I wanted fame, I could achieve fame because I know the formula to achieve fame. All you gotta do is put up your money to be famous. You understand? So I don't care about fame. I care about my yard. I care about my kids. I care about paying my bills every month. This right here is my therapy, man. This right here is what I do to vent and to chop it up with the family. This is what I do to talk about different things that I can't really say on social media because it's too much to type. You dig? Kevin LaCav says, everybody want fame, then what you want. I don't know what that means, homie. Corey Moore, shout out to you, homie. Hey, let me tell you how much money. I done spent so much money on my yard, dog, and it's not a lot of money, but it's a lot of money to me. If I wanted fame, I would go get a whole bunch of clothes and invest in marketing and all this stuff. Man, I done spent so much money. I done bought a power washer, hedge trimmers. I done bought a ton of 1 ton of rocks, over 1 ton of rocks. Bro, I've been investing in my yard. You understand? It's the type shit I'm on, homie. Yeah, yeah, but nah, Hopkins. That's the first time I heard that one, homie. C Max said, "What's good? What's good?" Saying that pic with you and Big Bro. Yeah, man. Hey, man. I'm fortunate. I got to meet Prodigy, a fucking piece of hip hop royalty. You dig? It was about 6 months before he passed. I got to meet him, man. That was real special, man. That's somebody who we listened to all the time growing up. I done met all the cats that I listened to as a kid. Bone Thugs, almost all of them. Siegel, you know what I'm saying? I done kicked it with Siegel many times. Benny Siegel, you know what I'm saying? These things are, and that's why my man said you want fame. Like, I see what fame does to people. One day you're famous, the next you're not. Okay. One day you're famous, the next nobody gives a shit about you. I seen it all the time. You know what I mean? Somebody said Two Live Crew. I kicked it with brother Marquise for a day. Marquise didn't have a penny to his name. Brother Marquise from Two Live Crew, he didn't have a fucking penny, Holmes. You dig? So I see what fame does. Forget fame, man. It's not about fame. It's about being happy, being grateful for what you have. You dig? RJ says, how much crack have you smoked in the 80s? How much crack has your mother smoked in the 80s? How about that one? Casper says KRS-One. Yeah, shout out to KRS-One, man. Yeah. KRS-One. One of my favorite KRS-One songs is My Philosophy. I still crank that on the regular. On the regular. Uh, Frank Lucas says, has anyone that's famous not sold their soul to get there? I don't, man, let me tell you, I don't, when people talk about, selling their soul, you sell your soul in a variety of ways. Okay, it's a variety of ways you can sell your soul. I don't believe every artist went into a dark room. I don't believe every artist went into a dark room and did something strange for some change. I don't believe that. You know what I'm saying? I believe if you compromise anything that you believe in, okay, if you compromise anything that you believe in, that's a form of selling your soul. You understand? Miss Patterson said the Locks. Yeah, the Locks is a special group. The Locks is an example of authenticity. You understand? They have not broke up. You didn't see them on the internet talking crazy about each other. You dig? They all just some cool dudes that are about their craft. They put the craft first. You know what I'm saying? Keep the sneak, says Tupac Death Row. C-Mac says Styles P is my top 3. See, Styles is nice, man. Styles is nice. Tizo Hurd says Internal Warfare. Uh, Mick B 1995 says, do you think Cash Out was underrated? Cash Out, was he underrated? Let me tell you, man, Cash Out, I believe I don't want to say he pioneered, but he brought something new to the game. You dig? He brought something new to the game. At least in that era. I don't think he was underrated. He didn't last long enough to really have an impact. He's locked up, right? Trey Young says, you still hoop? Nah, I don't really hoop like that, though. I never was a hooper. My man C Mac can attest to that. I was never really a hooper for real. I'll go play ball with my son. My son loves to play basketball, so I'll go play with him. Takir Beats, what it do? Y'all hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, man. Make sure you follow the channel. Make sure you follow the Instagram, @topflight_TV. I have a variety of stuff on my page. I don't know what I'm doing with my YouTube or my Instagram. I got some other stuff coming. If you go on my YouTube and my Instagram, I have interviews with Benzino. I have interviews with YB Escola, Reek and the Menace. Who else? A couple other people. Moochie Grape from PRE. Yeah, so I'm really thinking about doing some more interviews in the near future. ZYF says, what you think about that Diddy joint? I think Diddy needs to come home, man. I did a whole video on it. I don't really want to touch on it because that joint did good. That joint did like 43,000 views the other day. You could check it out. It's on my page, man. But I think they need to free Diddy, man. You dig? Frank Lucas says, when the Locks started, they was called the Warlocks. And they was rapping like the Grave Diggers. They're hardcore. I didn't know that. I know they was called the Warlocks. I didn't know they was on that Grave Diggers time. I remember when Grave Diggers came out. We used to bump that single real heavy. You dig? Y'all, let me tell y'all, hey, let me tell y'all something. Do y'all know who has some great interviews if you want to really hear about some old school hip hop history? King Son. Y'all remember King Son? I've been in a King Son trance. I've been listening to King Son interviews for 24 hours, dog. Yeah, free Diddy. I don't care who likes it. You can unsubscribe, man. You know, let me say this, man. If you're about justice and liberty for all, and due process, and you're mad because I said free Diddy, then you don't care about justice. You did. I'm not talking about internet rumors. I'm talking about a court case with minutes and testimony. We're not talking about what you saw on Facebook. I'm talking about real deal interviews. I mean, real deal evidence. Matthias says, gotta say, you got a lovely way of speaking, bro. No homo. I appreciate that, Matthias. Shout out to you, man. Nunya, you said you was gonna unsubscribe. What are you still doing here, my nigga? Hey, look, Nunya, talk to me. What's the problem? I said free Diddy. Tell me. Don't tell me about no internet rumors. Tell me why I'm wrong for saying free Diddy. Please tell me. Irvin Riddick said, shout out to DC, man. Shout out to DC. I'm from Jessup, Maryland, man. I'm in Cumberland. I was born in DC, raised in Jessup, Maryland, and I live in Cumberland, Maryland. C-Mac says, facts, the prosecution overcharged him. They absolutely did. I told y'all this last year. If you go and you look at my videos from last year when Diddy got picked up, I told you the case was bogus. Told y'all this, man. Nunya said, it's just that he got 5 or 6 years. No. Okay, well, tell me why you mad, bro. Tell me why you mad that I said free Diddy. Why should Diddy be locked up if he was found not guilty by a jury of 12? Tell me why he should be locked up if Cassandra, every day, evidence is coming out telling us that she was the villain. Every day is more evidence coming out that Cassie was a top dog. She was orchestrating all this stuff along with Diddy. You dig? Go check out the sex worker that she was hiring. Go look at what he has to say about her. Trey Young said, is Diddy innocent? Diddy is as innocent as me and you. Who on this earth is innocent? Now, do you mean, is he innocent of the charges? He got found not guilty of, what was it, 3 to 4 charges? So he's innocent of those charges in the court of law. Okay, Nunya said 100 people stepped up and spoke in court. Okay, so what happened to the 120 people? Did you listen to the jurors, the alternative jurors? Did you listen to their testimony? All the information is there. See, let me tell you, man, one thing I realized, man, and I'm upset it took me so many years to realize this. People don't want to hear the truth. They're not objective to the truth. They're objective to the narrative that they want to be true. So all the information is out there for you. If you want to go listen to what the alternative jurors said they didn't believe some of those witnesses. You dig? That's why they let that man go. That's why the RICO was gone. It was a lot of It was a whole lot of false testimony going on. Five Deli Venoms, God bless you. Frank Lucas says, was they really charge him just to show Diddy who's boss? Yeah, they want. Look, this is my opinion. I don't care who like it. They wanted to embarrass that black man. They wanted to humble that rich black man, and ultimately they wanted to take his future, his money, and his empire. That's what they wanted, dog. And if you don't believe that, it's not my job to convince you. It wouldn't be the first time. Look at what they did to Michael Jackson. Look what they did to Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson got found not guilty twice. And then after he got found not guilty, witnesses started coming forward saying they tried to pay them to say Michael Jackson did something to them. You understand? So I don't believe the feds. I'm not buying it. This is a real thing, man. They've been doing it from day one. You dig? Rich, successful black men that are free, independent, right? That are bosses. Yeah, they will come for your head, man. If you get out of bounds, where Diddy went wrong was he felt like he was above the law. You dig? Yeah, Miss Patterson, they humiliated that man. Of course. Now Cassie about to get sued. She about to look. Cassie's about to get those millions took from her. And imagine doing all of this, right? Going to court, all your business being put out there that you asked to get pissed on, right? And then you receive 30 million. You think you high on the hog. Then you get sued by all the sex workers that you admitted to purchasing. They're gonna win their lawsuits. They have a great case. They have a great case. They're gonna win millions from you. And imagine your 30 million empire turning into $100,000. All because you were so vindictive of Puff Daddy. You didn't want to see him get out. She wrote the judge telling the judge not to let him out. Like that's a dirty motherfucker. Let me say this, and this is gonna be real controversial. A lot of people won't like it, but we keep it real over here. And I don't condone hitting women. But after seeing this chick receive 20 million, receive 10 million, come to court testify, realizing that she was complicit and responsible for the same thing Diddy was responsible for, and then seeing her write the judge, telling the judge that she doesn't want him free, I can understand why Diddy was going upside her head. I understand why Diddy, I don't condone it, but that just shows you her character. She's a very vindictive individual. You dig? Drop the Low says, do you think the Fed case was necessary if Cassie got to pay off? No, it wasn't. Hell, man, she should have took that money. This the tricky part, because they would have charged Cassie. Cassie got immunity. This is what a lot of people don't know. Nunya, where you at? Cassie got immunity, dog, from all charges because she was guilty of purchasing prostitutes, coercion. She was guilty of these things. You dig? Frank Lucas said, why did that assault video from the hotel all of a sudden come out? They kept information on you just in case. Let me tell you why it came out. My belief, the reason why I believe that video came out is because they needed the propaganda. They needed to set off the propaganda, okay? So imagine running into Diddy's house, saying that he sex trafficked, he did all this bad stuff, kidnapping, RICO, arson, blowing people's cars up. He's a monster, he's a mob boss. This is what they said. And we was like, nah, hell nah. And then the video drops. And now everybody's like, oh yeah, fuck him. They needed us to not care about him. They needed us to let go of any good thoughts we had about Diddy so they can crucify him. You understand? Skylar says, if I may ask, what is your beliefs, my guy? Beliefs? What do you mean beliefs? What kind of beliefs? Chase Your Tail says sorry, but he did whoop her or not. Yeah, he did whoop her. And to be honest, I just said it. I'm gonna say it again. After seeing her actions, after seeing her character, I see why he did it. I see how he was able to do it. She wasn't some sweet little girl like this. That's not who she was. Go ask the sex workers that she was purchasing. They'll tell you. You dig? Elliot said, "Do you believe in God? If you don't mind." I believe in the Most High. I don't know who the Most High is. Anybody that tells you that they know who the Most High is, and sorry, C-Mac, I'm sorry, bro, but my man's very religious. Shout out to all my Christians out there. This is my opinion. I'm gonna try to word it more respectfully. I don't know who the Most High is. You dig? So I believe in the Most High. And I don't believe in a certain religion. You understand? I believe in goodwill. You understand? I believe in doing the right thing. I don't know how any of this got here. So I say the Most High. You understand? Chase Your Tail says, how old was she when Diddy hooked into her? How old was he? She was 19, he was 33. So what? What does that mean? I want you to go, matter of fact, a lot of y'all, later on the night, when it comes that time of the night, it's time to turn on them dirty flicks and your favorite porn star, ask yourself how old she is. Ask yourself how old she is. And ask yourself how old the producer of that film is. Ask yourself how old the actor or the actors. Ask yourself how old they are. But when P. Diddy does it, and he wants to have his private freak off, you dig? Now all of a sudden everybody is the age police. And I'm not saying you. I don't know that. I don't know if that's why you was asking, but I just find it very hypocritical, man. ASDF says, I can never condone physical violence. It's not okay. Diddy was doing some weird stuff, and he can't be going around having orgies and drug parties in 2025 and not expecting some problems. Why can't he have orgies and drug parties? Why can't he? I don't understand. It's happening every day. It's happening every day. Let me tell y'all something. You know another thing I was thinking about earlier, man? All these black rappers and moguls and icons are getting picked up. But all this shit, they learn this shit from the rock stars. They learn all this from the Guns N' Roses and the Motley Crues. You understand? Think about that for a minute. This is nothing new to the industry. Even with Playboy magazine, Hugh Hefner, the Playboy Mansion, this is nothing new. You think Hugh wasn't flying in 19-year-olds? I don't want to hear this shit, dog. That's why I didn't want to hear this shit from day one. I didn't want to hear nobody. I didn't want to hear nothing. I didn't want to hear nothing, dog, because we're of a certain age. We were around. They try to demonize certain black culture, right? But I mean, and I demonize it to an extent. But I understand. I have an understanding of where a lot of this come from. Back in the 90s, dog, it wasn't black chicks acting crazy like that. It was girls gone wild. You turn on the TV after 10 o'clock, all you see is girls gone wild. We learned this shit from the dominant society. You understand? So, yeah. One-eyed king. Hey man, bounce then. If you don't like what's going on over here, you can bounce. You dig? Yeah, listen. Nobody wants to talk about this. I be on Twitter, man, and they go so hard on black folks. But nobody wants to talk about what's the porn star name that just got smashed by, what was it, 1,000 dudes? Got smashed by like 1,000 dudes? and they just want to focus on the black entertainers and act like we're so degenerate. And yeah, I don't condone the degeneracy. I think it's a time and a place for it. I love to see some asses twerk. I love to see some bad bitches. You know what I'm saying? But it should be done in a certain fashion. But as a kid, as a child, every time we turned on the TV, we saw that party bus pull up. And the thing to do was to pull, the girls was just pulling their shirt up. Jerry Springer, Jerry Springer, daytime TV. I'm skipping school. I'm 14, 15, skipping school. And they were like, Jerry, I got a question. Jerry would run over there with the microphone and they'll get some what? They'll get beads. They'll get beads. That's not our summer. That's not our culture, dog. It's that we didn't start this shit. We didn't start this shit. Christopher Waterford said, "Hey, I'm subscribing. Oh, shout out to you, man. I appreciate the subscription. Y'all hit the like button to subscribe, man." ASDF says that Girls Gone Wild guy is basically on the run in Mexico now. He's like a few. I believe it. I believe it. I I believe it. And they cut that short. They said, no, 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 no. We can't have this. We can't keep. We're not doing this. We'll put something else out there, but we're not going to do this. You know what I'm saying? Levine Raj, what up? Mar Turta, South Africa, in the building, man. Shout out to you. Yeah, we got to put everything in perspective, man. So, they trying to go after T.I. again. You know, they tried to get T.I. and his wife for the same shit. It's the same story, dog. Like, it's the same story. Now, granted, these rappers need to smarten up. They need to smarten up. They need to do things a certain way. They need to sign some waivers. You dig? They need to sign a waiver. They need to have some non-disclosure agreements. Well, Puff tried that. But they need to be smarter, man. You dig? Nunya said Drake did snap. He didn't. Okay, let's give it to Drake. Drake, he did good on the record, but it means nothing. It's not believable. You're whining about LeBron. You have a tattoo of LeBron James on you. Like, you were the fanboy. You were. He tried to say LeBron been on his nuts since headlines. No, bro, you was on LeBron nuts, dog. Like, it's actual pictures of Drake cheesing from ear to ear, happy to be up under LeBron's wing. Colton Decker says, getting another man's face on your body. It's crazy work. Now, granted, I've been waiting to get this Tupac tattoo on my leg. Now, that's somebody that's immortal. He's been immortalized. Another living man that is not family, man. Like, come on, cuz. Like, he got Lil Wayne tattooed on him too. Like, this dude is the biggest. He's the biggest glazer, dog. Like, come on, man. Miss Patterson said, "Do you watch battle rap?" Not like I used to. I was watching a lot of battle rap, like with Math Hoffa, T-Rex, the Smack DVDs. That's when I was really on my battle rap shit. I'll check out Arsenal. I'll check out a battle rap every now and then. You dig? Nunya said, no, he said some crazy ish to a Toronto official for going to a. Yeah, that was weak, huh? That's another L. Like, he got mad at the it's a Indian guy that works in government in Toronto that Drake helped out or did something for. And the dude went to the concert, Kendrick concert, and Drake like got in his DMs and was mad at him. Like, come on, man, pull down your skirt, homie. Like, it's not that serious. It's not that serious. It's just not. That's weak shit. I can't respect it. Trey Young says, do Drake got ghostwriters? Absolutely. What's my man name? Quentin Miller. Quentin Miller is a ghostwriter. This is a fact. Quentin Miller, Detail, or the Detail right for Wayne or Drake. The Weeknd. What's the other dude name? Majid Jordan. I'm gonna put naming his ghostwriters. You dig? Christopher Waterford said Drake is licensed. Man, Drake, man, look, man, we accepted that man, we embraced him, and guess what he told us? He said, "You rapping like you trying to free the slaves." That right there, that was a big L. That was that you didn't. He doesn't know how to read the room. He's from Canada. He doesn't understand how shit works out here. Brothers like myself, I didn't like that line. You know what I'm saying? Kendrick didn't like it neither. Yeah, Colton Decker says Majid Jordan. Majid Jordan, I like a couple of his songs, man. He got some vibes, you know what I'm saying? Trey Young said, but don't you think LeBron was shit still out of pocket for vibing the kid? No, no. It's a battle. It's a battle. I'm sure LeBron thought that Drake was a man. I'm sure LeBron thought that Drake was a man. Like, come on, man. Like, be a fucking man, dog. Like, call LeBron. Why are you rapping and singing about this man? A year later, a man, a real man will call LeBron. Like, homie, what's up? Why you do that? Why haven't you called LeBron? Then another reason why I can't rock with Drake, because he even started insinuating that Brown was cheating when he went to Toronto one. Like, what kind of dude is this man? He's going to tell, he insinuated, he basically dry snitched that LeBron cheated on his wife. Like, come on, man. Yeah, man. Hey, look, it's really nothing Drake can do to redeem himself. I'm sure he's gonna put out some good music on this album. I hope it's not the same redundant, because he's already given us the redundant stuff. The victim. It's called victim rap. Drake created a new genre called victim rap, where he just raps about being a victim and being betrayed. It's not even pain music. It's victim rap. His his feelings are hurt. That's not hip hop, man. That's not hip hop. Yeah, I'm out here in the sun, man. Hey, look here, bro. I love the sun, man. Let me get all that sun. Before you know it, it's gonna be September, October, November. I'll take every ounce of sun, man. You dig? Nunya said, yo, remember when him and as a kid was dancing and grooving like an old man to that old ish makes my day. I'm not hating on Drake. I used to listen headlines. But yeah, man, look, he still got some hot shit. He still got some hot shit. Michael Swick said, check out King H out of Cumberland Freestyle. Yeah, I rock with King H. I shot a lot of his videos, man. Shot a lot of his videos. That's my man. C-Mac says, Drake out here acting like wifey's best friend. Try snitching. That's exactly how he's acting, dog. Come on, man. Skylar Krill said, who I like the cold man. I climb trees for a living, so I cut down the shade. Iceman. What is this image? What is this? What is this new gimmick, dog? What is this Iceman gimmick? I'm not buying it, bro. Ice is cold. Ice makes you numb. Drake is not numb. He's warm and bubbly because he's so sensitive. Thomas Rossetti, what it do, homie? Irvin Riddick says, what is your goal? What do you mean, my goal what? Terry said, Drake is Jordan, Kendrick is LeBron. Hey, man, if that's how you feel, I'm not mad at, look, it's subjective, though. I'm not mad at anybody who likes Drake. All I ask, all the Drake fans, all I ask for y'all to do is to hold that man accountable for his actions. Tell that man you shouldn't be suing like a little hoe. Tell that man you shouldn't be whining about grown men on your new record. I'm not mad at anybody that loves and is fanned out about Drake. C7H4 says, hot take. Drake and Party album wasn't even a bad R&B album, but people thought it was lame because they were expecting a rap album. Now, I knew what it was. The problem I had with that album, it wasn't for me. It was just, I felt like it was just a lot of whining. It was just a lot of playing with auto tune. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't vibe to it. It just wasn't for me, man. Tiga says, Lord Jamar. Yeah, shout out to Lord Jamar, man. That's the guy. I'm better. Shout out to you. Colton Decker says, Party Next Door isn't a rapper though. Trey Young said, how tall is you? I'm 5'9", homie. Excuse me, sorry, y'all. Nunya said, King Von, man, he was finna blow up for real. It's poison though. He spoke facts. Shout out to Paris, Blad Films TV. Shout out to Paris, man. Ahmed says, do you like smoking? Now, I don't smoke, man. Dion says, we already heard this song before. What did I miss? Fighting Irish freestyle. Just a redundant and no growth. Hey, Dion, exactly. No growth. Like, we've heard this song many, many times. You know what I'm saying? No friends in the industry. You dig? And a pet peeve I have, like you see it on social media, you'll see grown-ass people talking about people not being there for them. Let me give something to y'all. If you know everybody that's young in here, let me give y'all a piece of advice. After a while, you should not be dependent on anybody for anything, especially if you a man. If you a man, if you're a male, 23 and up, you should not be dependent on anybody. I don't care if you dependent on your homie to go to the basketball game with you. Drake is 40 years old talking about being betrayed by fake friends. This is high school shit. Irving says, what is your goal with all the gifted knowledge? Man, I'm just here, man, chopping it up with the people. I don't really have a goal, brother. This is my therapeutic hour, man. This is just where I come in and put my thoughts in and vent to the universe and to the people. Maurice Henderson, what it do, homie? He said, my man, what's good? What we talking about? We talking about Drake's new song, What Did I Miss? We're talking about how much of a pansy Drake is. Miss Patterson says, Drake's writer got bars. That man is a performer that uses his persona and influence to sell music. Let me tell you, the people behind Drake, they got it right. They said, we got a Jewish black kid who can sing and rap. We going to the moon. And they went straight to the moon with that kid, man. I mean, what can't he do? He can do anything. He can come out with a country album right now and be successful. I would never take away Drake's success. He's just that accessible. You dig? But when it comes to hip hop, when it comes to the rules and the traditions of hip hop, we gotta touch on that. We gotta hold him accountable. The world is not gonna hold him accountable. But those of us that know better, we're going to speak up. You dig? D1661 says that song proved he's not like us. Absolutely. Man, everything he did post battle and during the battle proves he's not like us. Maurice Henderson says Bojangles. Listen, I gotta get some food in me, dog. I'm starving. I've been on here for an hour, over an hour. I appreciate y'all rocking with me. C. Mac, Paul Smith, Maurice Henderson, Trey Young, Miss Patterson, Nunya. I appreciate y'all. Y'all tap back in, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. I will be back. What's today? Sunday? I'll probably be back Tuesday or something. I don't know. Stay posted. I'm out. Peace.